Alright, this is just a quick guide to subsurface mining and core mining. It hasn't changed very much in Odyssey, but there's a couple of things to be aware of. Now, this is with the rationale of perhaps your carrier is going to be out on an extended trip, and no matter how much fuel you buy in the bubble and store it with, if it's going to be an extended trip, sooner or later you're going to have to buy some, and if you can't, you're going to have to mine some. And so this video addresses what might happen if you're ever in that situation, and how to get tritium with subsurface displacement missiles. And then I'll also do a bit at the end, which is just a quick introduction to core mining, because one of the nice things about having a carrier is that if you're out mining fuel for it, you can also pick up any cores you find, store them on the carrier, and wait for the right price to sell them for as long as you like, really. And we don't need very much for this. An A-rated Python will do the job. I bought this one in Colonia, and everything in it is A-rated except for the pulse wave analyzer. I could only find a class C, but it will do the job. For what we want, it will do the job. So I put shield boosters in it just to give it a bit of collision protection against rocks and exploding rocks. It won't really last against NPCs because there's no thermal resistance or any other resistances in the shields, so lasers will take it down quick. Try and avoid fights with it. In the black it shouldn't matter, but just be careful near civilization. And I've got one subsurface displacement missile, but I would normally take two, and an abrasion blaster. And you can take a couple of mining lasers if you want, and do a bit of mining, laser mining that way if you like as well. Complement your subsurface mining with a bit of laser mining, by all means. I personally find it faster to just stay with subsurface, but horses for courses, and you might want to mix it up a bit to make it a bit less boring if you're doing a lot of it. 3 cargo racks, that gives me 192 tons of cargo space. 2 5A collectors. These are all available in Colonia. A 4A shield generator just for maximum protection against collisions, but I still wouldn't recommend hitting rocks too hard. A 3A prospector, a 3A refinery. I've put a super cruise assist in, but you don't need one if you don't want one. A detailed surface scanner, imperative. And that's it. That's all you really need. It doesn't break the bank, and it will do the job. So you'll be able to pick up 200 tons at a time, 192 in the cargo bay and 8 in the refinery bins, if you can manage to fill those as well. I'm not going to completely fill up with limpets. There. Leave a little bit of space. Well, here we have 2 tritium hotspots together, which happen to be right near the carrier. So we're essentially going to target one of them and drop down in the middle, as close to the middle as you can reasonably judge, and that should give us good yields of tritium. And even if you're not mega fast at doing this, you should still be able to pick up the best part of a couple of 100 tons in an hour to an hour and a half. And especially once you get the hang of it and have a bit more practice, like anything else, you just get better at it the more you do it. So we're going to drop into this spot and then look for some suitable rocks. Whether you're looking for subsurface deposits or whether you're looking for cores, the pulse wave scanner is your friend. Which brings us to how it's changed a little in Odyssey. Now, before, rocks would usually glow quite brightly if they had subsurface deposits. So this rock, for example, it should have subsurface deposits, and the other ones that are glowing as well. That's where you look to find them. Now, if it happens to be a core, in Horizons, when you used to use a pulse wave scanner, the fissures that would be cracked would show up as kind of black lines in the second half of the pulse wave scan. That doesn't happen anymore. Cores in Odyssey are just the most glowing ones. So it's glowing like this one. There's a good chance it will have subsurface deposits. And if it's really glowing, like Hurt Your Eyes glowing, then it's most likely a core. Before we get to the subsurface deposits, you use your abrasion blaster. Okay, and your abrasion blaster, you don't have to target it, you can just fire straight at it. The abrasion blaster has unlimited ammo, so you can take as much time as you like to shoot those off and not worry about it. But with the seismic charge launcher and the subsurface displacement missile, you will have limited ammo, so be careful. Okay, there is also a subsurface deposit here, so switch to that, switch to the displacement missile, try and target it as best you can, and hold the trigger down. Look on the left and you'll see these yellow bars come up. Release the trigger when the yellow bar is there. This rock is actually spinning quite fast, and it's a little bit more difficult to track, so as you see I've wasted a couple of bits of ammo already. If you find yourself wasting too much ammo on a rock, cut your losses, go to a rock that isn't spinning so fast. Because you only have 92 shots in a displacement missile, but you can farm spots like this, and they're usually a lot more lucrative than laser mining because you will get fewer chunks, but there will be larger chunks. Alright, we've got an Alexandrite core. Let's see if we can get the optimum yield for it. Now there are subsurface deposits and surface deposits, which you can mine first if you like, before cracking the core. And then there are these, the asteroid fissures, and this is what you'll be concentrating on in order to crack the core with your seismic charge launcher. Look at the seismic charge launcher and you'll see it's got 3 bars. Like with the subsurface displacement missile, you press the trigger and hold it. Only in this case, you're doing it to decide how much of a charge to put in the first place. So with the displacement missiles, you're holding it down so that the charge can bite into the rock, and then releasing it when it finds a piece of material. With this, you're charging up the seismic charge launcher with low, medium or a high strength charge on a fissure that is low, medium or high strength. So this is an average strength one, but I'm going to give it a full charge, so I'm going to hold it down. There you go, and if it's a full charge you can hold it down and just release when you're ready. And then the graphic appears in the top right hand corner showing us that we're on our way to hopefully getting an optimum yield. So let's go for another one. Another high strength to an average fissure. And that is now bordering on that strip in the middle there with the tick box next to it, which is the optimum yield zone. And that's what you're trying to get to. So from here, we'll vary the charges a bit. Oh, that one missed completely. And we are in the optimum yield zone. There you go. Now there are 69 seconds to go. Now you can go above the optimum yield, and if you do, there'll be a further line above that telling you so. If that happens, you can go into the contacts, find one of them, and if there's enough time left, you can disarm the charge, find another fissure, and fire another charge and try and get it right. we've already got it into the optimum zone. So rather than wait those 40 seconds, we can select the fisher and go detonate now. That brings the countdown down to 10 seconds. Just back up a little bit because this is an unengineered ship, and let it blow. Now this huge dust cloud comes out and it will freeze your ship if you go into it. So what I normally do is just go forward a little bit, release all the collectors, and let them pick up absolutely everything that they can first until there are no valid collection targets, and that also gives the dust time to clear before you go in with your abrasion blaster and knock off those bits that you can see stuck to the rocks there. So let them finish picking up what is there, and by the time they've done that, you should be able to see more clearly this cloud of ice dust that has been released will have largely dissipated. And again, just like with surface deposits, you don't have to target them, and you can have a few goes because you've got unlimited ammo. So there's still a few bits for the collectors to pick up. I don't want to go into the rocks just yet because sometimes your collectors will die doing that. So what I'll do first is just come up a bit and over a bit and let them pick up those bits there. And like with subsurface deposits, you get good yields, you know, 14, 15, possibly even up to 18 tons of low temperature diamonds, void opals, whatever they are, from one rock, if you get it right and if you get the optimum yield. So again, like subsurface displacement mining, you only really need about, say, 12 good ones, and you filled up a 200 ton hold or near as damn it. You've probably got at least a solid 180 tons, and you may have even maxed out your hold.